And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock God Rick Maxer. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here right next to Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We have a couple of great guys in the studio, Captains Gavin Harbour and Matt Bralla from Captain's Concepts. We're going to be talking some great fishing here on Southern California's Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. San Diego. Do you need a vehicle that's built ready for your next adventure? Well, your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered with the 2021 Ford Ranger. This adventure-ready truck is built with durable features like its frame-mounted step bumpers and high-strength steel frame. But that's not all. The Ford Ranger also has an available terrain management system with 4 selectable drive modes depending on what terrain you're on for optimum performance. Looking to tow your boat or trailer to your next adventure? No problem. The 2021 Ford Ranger can handle that too and has smart technology like Bliss with trailer coverage to assist changing lanes and makes driving so much better when towing your boat or trailer. Visit your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com to learn more. That's buyfordnow.com and they'll be glad to hook you up.
You've heard all about it. You know the anglers catching fish have it, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. Fishdope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. Fishdope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. Fishdope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. Fishdope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have Fishdope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new Fishdope.com membership. Check it out today. Fishdope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Yeah, man, you said it best. Today's going to be a great day. Got some serious knowledge in the studio today.
Yeah, of course, from Captain's Concepts, but you may know him from the Pacific Queen, Captain Gavin Harbour. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Captain Matt Bralla from the San Diego. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Now, have you been on Let's Talk Hookup before, Matt?
No, this is the first time.
I was going to say, I know Gavin's been on, but this is your first shot. The boss has been on many times, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
he's got to drive the boat today.
Yeah, he's going to drive the boat while you talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, great to have you. And, of course, you've been on the San Diego for how many years?
I think 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Has it really been that long?
Jeez. That's amazing.
Yeah, 10 years. That's the only place I've ever been.
That's
start to finish.
Just ask, just like I thought. And started as a deckhand and then got your ticket. And
hey, look at me now.
Now you run the boat. Yeah, you run the boat.
Yep.
For sure. So, guys, tell us about Captain's Concept. We had you on the show once, Gavin, talking about Captain's Concept. I guess it's killing it right now. You got a bunch of subscribers and people are doing it. Describe what Captain's Concepts is.
So, Captain's Concepts, Matt and I, we started kind of in the latter part of last season in, I think, September. And basically what we do is we make videos on fishing, like how you fish with the rod and reel, kind of tailored to the sport boat angler. So if you're going to be fishing on anything from a full-day trip to a 3-day, 4-day trip, which what I do, then we kind of get, like right now in the off-season, we're getting all of our guys tuned up on, preparing their tackle for next year, what we think people should have, what lures worked really well, how we rig our lures, and stuff like that. And then once the season starts rolling around, we start fishing, we make real up-to-date videos on what's going on wherever we're fishing, whether it's offshore with me or at the Coronado Islands with Matt, and let all of our subscribers know what worked today. You know, what if they're coming out in the next couple days, what they need to bring, what worked the best. And you know, Matt and I are fishing pretty much every day with the rod in our hand. You know, I know I'm fishing all the time. Matt's fishing all the time. So we're letting everybody know what we do to get more bites. You know, what works best for us.
Right from the captain's mouth.
So much of it's like inside baseball too. Like you might know that it's whatever, it's bluefin fishing with a sardine, but like those guys go over like, this is what happened on Thursday. You know, the guys who were fishing number 2 hooks and this short top shot, or the opposite, you know, a sinker rig and a real long top. You know, it's like most people are going to have an idea and can research out the basics. This is like this is the advanced course, but put down to, you know, to even a novice person is going to be able to gain the info from it. But I mean, it's the little things, you know, and those little things are usually the difference makers.
This is what worked yesterday.
Totally.
Yeah, straight. If there's any little nuance of any kind of way we can get a bite, it's going up there.
That's happening.
Yeah.
So Captain Ryan Boston running the San Diego today, first day of the season, right?
Yeah, first trip of the season
and
today.
Coronado Islands trips.
Yep.
You'll be on the boat this week, I'm sure, running Coronado Islands trips. What kind of inside baseball are you giving people this time of the year on catching yellowtail? Of course, what people want.
It's all about your setup right now. A lot of guys. Early season yellowtail, it's yo-yo fishing. It's pretty meat and potatoes as far as Coronado Islands yellowtail fishing goes, but there's little nuances in how you rig your reel, your rod, what size jig you're fishing, and how deep we're fishing and stuff like that. And we're going to go over all that.
Go over exactly what's going on. So, and how do you do that? You're running the boat all day.
Yeah, for real.
And then you're doing this when you come back in?
Exactly. When the crew gets off the boat, I set up my tripod and start talking.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's literally from the boat, here's what's going on. You have a setup in your hand, and here's what you need to do.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
I have the setup I have on the boat that I had a bite on that day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So you got gear the whole 9.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the same rod. I'm going over the same rod that I just got a bite on earlier in the day.
And that's the course you guys are running full day trips.
Yes.
Yeah. And whether it be Coronado Islands or offshore, same kind of deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're fishing Coronado Islands to basically fishing around Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gavin, you guys are on the Pacific Queen are mostly running day-and-a-half trips, right?
Yeah, we do a mix. The majority of our trips are day-and-a-half and 3-day trips.
3-day trips. So how's that differ for what Matt's producing on and how does that work where people can, I mean, are you guys each doing a video every day, or is it every other day, or how does that all work?
We try and do one about once a week. Depending on what's going on. You know, I'd say right now the videos are a little bit slower just because we're not fishing all the time. But you know,
but you're still doing it. You're still giving
we're still putting
stuff.
we're still putting out videos, at least one video a week on tackle prep and stuff. But when it comes to the summertime, we're doing, you know, some of the times the Pacific Queen's fishing next to the San Diego, but like the majority of the last fishing season, you know, we were 100 miles from home fishing for this, or, you know, fishing this type of way, and Matt was fishing, you know, 30 miles from home. He might have still been fishing for bluefin like we were, but the way he was doing it and what the tackle you needed might have been completely different.
Totally.
Because totally different areas, grade of fish, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I could be, you know, out at Cortez or Tanner Bang, and primarily what we're catching is 100-pounders, and it's at nighttime. Well, Matt could be fishing 30, 40-pounders during the daytime at home, you know, closer to home. It could be, you know, vastly different tackle in the way you fish. And a lot of times, you know, the San Diego's fishing at the Coronado Islands, and we're fishing offshore. So it's, you know, you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. You're getting two guys that are really tuned in on what's going on, and it's not two guys that are always doing the same thing. You know, a lot of times we're fishing completely different areas for completely different fish.
What are some of like the topics covered that you've done videos on in the past where, like, you know, this was a difference maker, you know, something that when a guy watched that video, like, you know, that there was like a little piece that they ascertained, like, dude, that's for sure going to produce something more bites, you know, is it hook size, adapt, you know what I mean? Like, what are some of the things that, like, a guy might expect to get to see at a...
Yeah, well, we've had all kinds of... The one that really I liked was a Gavin video where he was talking about fishing on the anchor. Okay. Live bait fishing on the anchor, and that's what he was talking about. You don't know unless you've been out there a lot. He was talking about how the boat was swinging, where you cast your bait, how you're fishing your bait, and setting up before you even get in the water, which was pretty cool. And then we've gone over the difference between lures, like what was the one, the Colt Sniper and Zacana, how the difference is on that, and those are two completely different lures if you really dive deep into them.
That's what I like so much about what you guys are doing is exactly that. Like you say, those two jigs are this. You look at it and they're roughly the same thing, but there's plenty of nuances, and everybody's fished on the anchor. But if you sit down and pull it apart, there's a bunch of things that might make a difference for you. And if you can sit down and the other thing too is you can read something one thing, but if a guy's looking at you through the video and talking about, hey, we do it like this, we do it like that. That's how you're going to really get it.
Yeah, I'd say one of the big things that separates us, there's other guys that do the type of thing that we do, a lot of guys that are, kind of tailored towards skiffs or other things, but as far as me and Matt and I go, this is it for us. We're 100% reliant on fishing, for everything. This is our livelihood. This is how we pay our bills. And you do it every day. And we do it every single day.
Yeah.
There's nobody
Literally.
out on the water,
Yeah.
More than the captains of these sport fishing boats. And literally all we think about day and night is how to catch more fish, how to make our passengers catch more fish, bigger fish, how to lose less fish, all that kind of stuff. Literally that, we night and day, 24/7, that's all we're thinking about.
So give us some feedback. I'm sure you've heard feedback from the many followers you have on Captain's Concepts. What's some of the feedback you're getting from the people that are subscribing?
We get a lot of good feedback. It's on Patreon, so it's set up to where our people can comment on our videos. They can direct message us questions.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. We get a lot.
So people can actually ask questions.
Yeah, we're having conversations with them. Yeah.
Yeah,
no
so
kidding.
we get people that are like, hey, I kind of struggle with this. Can you go over this? And then we'll make a video on that, or we'll message them back, or something like that. So that's been good. A lot of people have reached out and said, yeah, I've struggled with this in the past. This makes sense why you're doing this. We're not just showing you how to do it, but we're also kind of telling you why we do it. And I feel like our people are getting a lot more understanding of why what we're doing works better than maybe a different way.
Yeah.
You guys were both so suited right to do this. Like you said, both, that's all you've done your whole lives, seen a lot of success. And I mean, arguably the boats that you guys both run are amongst, if not the premier of what you guys do, which not only are you guys doing a great job and your crew doing a great job, but you also have a lot of highly talented people that come fishing with you. So you're not, when the videos come out, it's not just, Bralla's day at the Coronado Islands, but some of the highest echelon fishermen that are going, seeking out to go fishing. I mean, you're getting the pool of everybody that's that a part of their that run that day.
Yeah, that's been a huge help. We're always learning. Everyone, you should always be learning if you're fishing. But there's been a lot of, actually, some of the videos we've made are based off what I watched somebody do on the boat, and they were getting more bites than me. And
Nice.
Yeah, totally.
Like the knife jigs.
yeah. The knife jig thing, that was huge. We've had anglers it's foreign for a lot of people. And there's those West Coast jigger guys, and they came out and just spanked them a couple times.
And that's in the daytime.
That's daytime fishing.
Which is a technique that, myself included, like so many people think about catching a big tuna with a flat fall or a knife jig. Like, all right, well, that's in the dark, and they only bite it on the sink.
No.
There's a lot more to it.
There's a lot more to it. Those guys have put on some clinics. It's been impressive watching that daytime fish, and big ones. They've caught 200-pounders on the San Diego on a full-day trip.
No kidding.
In the daytime.
In the daytime, and multiple fish.
Yeah. I mean, you never saw knife jigs in Southern California here until, what, was it last year?
Yeah, but the knife jigs themselves and the rods you use and the reels you use, 2 years ago, if you would have told me today I was going to be doing that, I would have told you you're crazy. And I honestly, I never would have picked one of those things up if, like Matt was saying, I didn't watch some of my passengers do that. And I was like, oh man, this guy's kind of onto something. I better look into this. So that's another cool thing too. I'm fishing with 24 to 35 people every day, so not only are you getting, information from me that I think helps, but I'm seeing different people try different stuff. And I could, sometimes it's, oh man, don't do this, or
successes and failures.
This did not work. And then sometimes I'm like, I could watch this guy. I'm like, oh, this guy's, getting more bites than everyone else. And then I pay attention to what he's doing. And then I could pass that information on as well.
Wow. What
Huge.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
huge.
Such a good call.
And same thing goes for yo-yo fishing this time of the year on the San Diego for yellow, right? I mean, there's certain techniques
there's certain
work.
techniques, speed, jig size, leader size, all that stuff plays a factor in it, and you can dial it in real quick.
And Boog's always talked about, your guys fishing sometimes at the Coronado Islands when it's yo-yo jig fishing, like a huge day and a big hit can be made in 2 or 3 stops.
One stop. I mean, one sweep of the sonar.
Yeah, and if you're, if you're if there's 3 good shots for the day and you can capitalize on all 3, what a huge difference that is.
Stellar day.
Yeah, exactly. You go full day fishing, you come home with 4 yellowtail in the wintertime. That's huge. And little things
that's
like just like you had said, like the outfit, the jig, the this, like those might make the difference between maybe plucking one off of every stop than getting the
definitely
getting the random one.
Just how you have your reel set up and the line and everything, it plays a factor in getting a bite or going home empty-handed.
That's cool. So how does somebody get this important information on Captain's Concept? How does somebody subscribe to Captain? Give us kind of the lowdown on how it works.
So Patreon is the platform we're on. It's kind of like, I'd call it like an Instagram type thing.
So if somebody Googles Captain's Concepts, will it come up?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, or you can follow us on, we have Facebook and Instagram, Captain's
Concepts.
Captain's Concepts, and there's a link in there. It'll send you right to our Patreon page.
Okay. And so how's it work? So you basically have a monthly subscription, a yearly subscription?
For the basic person, it's a monthly subscription. You could do it for the year, and you actually get 10% off, so it's a pretty good deal there. But yeah, it's a monthly subscription. You sign up for however long you want, really. We've had guys sign up for a month, cancel, and then sign back up, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, you sign up for the month, or you can sign up for the year. You get a little deal if you sign up for the year.
Yeah.
And as well, if you sign up today, you also get all of our content that's been posted already.
Oh.
So you're not just getting the content from when you subscribe forward. You're also getting all the stuff that we've started back in September, I believe, when we started.
So if you want to get geared up for spring yellows at the islands, you want to get geared up for the spring season for bluefin tuna, all that stuff from last year that worked is there.
I just did I did exactly what you said. I just did a Google search for Patreon, got on there, Captain's Concepts, and like the videos are even better than these guys described already. Making wind-on leaders, replacing jigs, how to, favorite ways to catch bluefin, speed jigging, knife jigs, whatever you want to call it. This is how it worked. They're all, making assist hooks. These are the assist hooks we like. They're all exactly the things that everybody's doing on these trips.
Now, are these tips just for sport boat guys, or can private boat guys put these things in?
No, the skiff guys can definitely benefit from the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're obviously based on sport boats, but it could be applied if you're fishing a small boat.
And with the price of fuel this year, man, you got to get every edge you need, right?
Oh man,
for sure.
Yeah.
A year's worth of Captain Concepts is less than the fill of one offshore trip.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, you can't fill up your tank with that.
Yeah. How much is it?
What?
It's Captain's Concept.
$25 a month.
$25 a month.
Yeah, and that's for both. Yeah, then I think it's whatever 10% of it is around $270 if you want to pay for the year.
For the whole year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it's such a good idea. Yeah.
I mean, it just like you say, just one trip or a quarter of a tank on a boat.
Yeah.
And you've got a whole year of content.
Yeah, it's cheaper than a spool of fluorocarbon.
I just like it so much because there is so much information these days that is available online, and it's the greatest and worst thing about these days is everything any person can put any type of content out there, and sometimes you'll pick up some great stuff, but the problem with it also is, that's just the world of the internet. Like, everything's unregulated, and so here you're getting straight dope from guys that are driving the boat.
The real thing.
It's not somebody who just loves to post about things and their opinion. Everybody's opinion is whatever it is, but these are the guys that are that have clearly found the success in it, and to get that info straight from the source is pretty rad.
So you want to maximize your time, spend the time with the guys that know what they're talking about.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show for you today.
Yeah, you're not kidding, man. You want to talk about the opportunity to pick the brains of a couple of the best guys doing it. This is a great day for it. And if you want to get through, we'd love to hear from you this morning. Phones are already getting packed up, but we do have a line open right now at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090. That's your shot. You want to get through. Talk to Gavin, talk to Matt. Also, a really good opportunity on the text the show I've already heard the phone lighten up. A lot of text coming through. The text the show option is only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app, which is a free download. Just grab that. As soon as you fire up the app, you'll see the option of texting the show. And make sure that you include your contact info so that we can call you back if you're the big winner at the end of the show today. Basically, at the end of the show, we're going to be giving away this killer prize, and I'm going to tell you about it in just a quick sec. And we take the list of all of the phone callers. We take a list of all the texters. We're going to flip a coin at the end of the show that'll designate whether the winner comes from our callers or from the texters at the end of the show. And then if you're that lucky guy, you're going to get to go fishing on a very cool trip, probably with Captain Matt, because we're giving away a full-day trip on board the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing to one lucky participant at the end of the show today. Going to be a really, really fun time. Again, if you want to get your through, give us a call on the phones, 213-432-1090, or send us a text via the Let's Talk Hookup app. And when we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090.
Your vacation bucket list can't be completed without visiting the Katmai Lodge, Alaska this summer. A world-class wilderness fishing paradise on the banks of the famed Alagnak River. Get in the action, fishing for all 5 species of Pacific salmon, king, sockeye, chum, coho, plus trophy-sized rainbow trout, Arctic grayling, and Dolly Varden, both in the Alagnak and nearby waters. Katmai Lodge's Coast Guard and CPR certified guides are fly fishing fanatics and know how to help you reel them in, ensuring your days are fish-filled while you enjoy freshly prepared snacks and barbecued lunches on the river. Back at the lodge, enjoy fireside appetizers and refreshments each afternoon. Delicious dinner prepared by the lodge's exceptional chef. Take a quick fly-out trip to Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park for world-renowned bear watching. And check out our trout fishing specials at katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com. Katmai.com.
Rock Cod Rick here to tell you about Parker Boats and the guys at West Coast Marine. By now, you all know my boat partner and I bought a new 25 Parker center console from crew at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. We've known for a long time that a Parker was the boat for us. It's a stout workhorse of a boat built to last and get you home when the seas get rough. Parker Boats at the launch ramp, the offshore tuna grounds. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all sizes, fishing in the same areas as the sporties. There's a good reason for it: fishability and seaworthiness. West Coast Marine has several new Parkers in stock and ready for delivery, and they have more on the way. Don't get caught without a reliable boat when fishing is this good. Take it from me, if you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see West Coast Marine. Check out the inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
As the inventor and world leader in fluorocarbon, Seagar has you covered with 4-liter choices to help you catch more fish. Gold Label is Seagar's thinnest and strongest leader. Fluoro Premier has a thin diameter with high break strength and softness. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions. From 2 pounds to 400 pounds, pick up a spool of Seagar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seagar.com.
For over 30 years, Sea Falcon has been manufacturing the finest handmade jigs and plugs, utilizing superior components and hand-painted finishes. Sea Falcon lures are made in Japan and are based on hand-carved originals, utilizing the highest level of quality and attention to detail. Gamakatsu's premium assist hooks are ideal to pair with Sea Falcon lures, providing you with one of the highest quality lure combinations on the market. When you're shopping for premium jigs and plugs to chase the fish of a lifetime, look no further than Sea Falcon.
When you want to catch big bluefin tuna, you need Shimano. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The Shimano Beastmaster is the pinnacle of electric reels. Shimano's Gigamax motor packs a winding strength up to 250 pounds, ideal for kite fishing and more. Shimano's butterfly flat-fall jigs are irresistible to bluefin tuna because they stay in the strike zone longer. Shimano makes a complete line of butterfly flat-fall jigs to target your favorite game fish. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones are packed. Again, if you want to get through, get in on the info, 213-432-1090. Or, again, send us a text via that Let's Talk Hookup app.
Think these guys are popular?
I think so.
Phones are solid already. The checks are rolling in.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's jump in.
You got it. Every single phone line we have is full. We're going to start with Jim, who's calling us from National City this morning. Good morning, Jim. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Wow, what another great show we're going to have today. Pete, I wanted to call in today. I had lunch with Matt and the boys on the San Diego the other day, and
thanks, Jim.
One time on this show, how we have a great opportunity on these one-day boats, plus also Gavin's boat, but in a one-day boat to catch a class fish, a class yellowtail or world-class bluefin tuna. I mean, it's just like over the top good, And not only the San Diego, I got to mention the Liberty, and I got to mention Steve Peterson with the Missing Bell. All three excellent operations. But the other day when I had lunch with Matt and Andrew, Fisher, Doug, all members of the San Diego, we had lunch there. The thing that stuck with me at the end of the day was all three or four of those guys, Andrew, Matt, Doug, Fisher, came up to me afterwards, not one time, not two times, three times. They thanked me for lunch. I mean, they couldn't thank me enough. And it shows the character of the crew on the San Diego, which is so important when you bring your young granddaughter or your son or whoever on board, that you're going to deal with quality deck people. I mean, anyway, thank you guys. You guys always showed me the most respect, and I just, they showed great character, Pete, there the other day when we had lunch, and that's kind of what I wanted.
Thanks, Jim. And well, especially when you're buying, it really makes it better. Yeah. Fish, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, thanks a lot for the call this morning. Appreciate that.
Well, this is a good text that came through for getting the info started on the text. Said, good morning, guys. This is from Johnny in North Fontana. Wanted to ask the captains from Captain Concept what your favorite jig is to fish the Coronado Islands, whether that be surface or yellowtail, and also if you could describe the San Diego as far as the boat layout.
As far as jig goes, are we talking surface iron or yo-yo jig?
How about both?
Yo-yo jig, I fish a 6X, full-size 6X. Full-size, pretty much almost 100% of the time. We get in shallower water, I'll tie on a 6X junior, but I don't like waiting for it to sink to the bottom. Mm-hmm. And for a surface iron, I like a Tatty 45 or a two-fish jigs JJ. That's it. That's
Two Fish Jigs JJ.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me. Of course.
We were making them last night.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, one of our passengers makes them.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where do you get those? On Captain's Concepts?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But you can look him up on Facebook or Instagram, Two Fish Jigs, and you can hit him up, and he'll get you some lures.
It works.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
He just wanted to make a surface iron, and he was talking to me about it, so we made a cast of some jigs that I had.
Wow.
So you took some of your favorites, made a cast, and then modify them in whichever way. And
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're all hand sanded one by one. Last night it was all by captains of sport boats, but sometimes it's just Bodan, the guy who makes them. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that type of material that you just talked about, is that kind of stuff that you would get at Captain's Concepts? It's like, here's what happened today at the Coronado Islands.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
here's how I would rig that.
Yeah, for sure. From top to bottom, you're going to know what lure I'm fishing, how I have my line set up, what rod, what reel, and how fast I was winding, or if there was.
Which has been important, right?
You said that multiple times. Clearly, there's something to that. Like that's something you mentioned a few times.
Yeah, yo-yo fishing. Everyone thinks you just need to crank as fast as humanly possible, and that's not always the case.
No.
You got to play it on the fish's mood. Sometimes they're lazy, and sometimes you don't need to crank that fast. Or speed change during one retrieve is a huge
that's a
thing.
big one.
Yeah.
And yo-yo jig fishing back in the day was done with a 4.0. That had 3 1/4 to 1 gears, like 3.25 to 1. And if you had it tricked out, it had 4 to 1 gears. Now you're fishing with a reel that's 6.5 to 1.
Yeah, you can crank too fast.
You can crank too fast.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you just wear yourself out.
So on the video, will you show yourself cranking? Here's how fast they were biting it today, kind of thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention too is we also make videos, and we're going to do a better job of it, like while we're fishing as well.
Oh.
Like I have a video on there of like how to hook on a bait, how long I should soak my bait. Okay, this was
huge.
This wasn't this. I've soaked my bait
And
long
getting a
enough,
bite.
rip it off, and then I cast out another bait, get a bite right away. So that we'll definitely be getting some of that this year as well, where we're like while the boat's stopped, while we're fishing, what exactly we're doing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Important stuff.
Yeah, bait selection too would be one that we hear about so much on the show, and it's not easily described. It's it's shown, like if you can show a video, there's 4 baits in the tank. This is why you're picking this one and why you're not picking that one, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and another just like little stuff like you could grab the best bait in the world, but if you handle it rough and then you hook it in the wrong spot and cast it out like the wrong way, then it's not the best bait anymore. So all that little tiny stuff, stuff we do as as anglers to be better isn't like, oh, here's the one big secret. There's 10,000 little tiny things that we might do differently that that make a huge difference.
So you don't want to squeeze the bait when you grab that thing out of the tank, is what you're saying,
that's
right?
correct.
Definitely.
Yeah, handling it's a live thing, and you got to handle it
It's a
very
very
carefully.
small
right?
creature.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
And how you grab it is going to how you're planning on hooking the bait is going to play a part in the direction that you grab it. If you want to hook it in the nose, you grab it the nose pointing forward. If you're going to hook it in the belly, you grab it the other direction, or you have an idea in mind what you're going to be doing before your hand even goes into the hand well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I've probably hooked on like 100,000 baits in my life, so we've learned how to do it the best way possible, that's for sure.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And then the other thing too is like other important stuff is like once you hook the bait, how long do you soak it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a big one too. And that's not like you soak your bait for 1 minute and that's
Right.
it. It depends on stop to stop, looking. That's a big thing on looking around, like what's going on. How close are the fish boiling in the boat? How many people are getting bites right now? How aggressive are the fish? So that's all stuff that will change day to day, and learning how to be able to read that situation is huge.
I was going to say that's one that again reminds me of how important it'll be that you guys are doing your weekly videos, is because I'm sure that scenario changes from week to week and trip to trip. I'm sure there's times when the bites are had. You got to have a really good bait that's soaked forever away from the boat, and there's times when if you're fishing a bait for more than 15 seconds, it's probably too long.
Exactly.
But I mean, like you say, that could change from one day to the next, and that's the video.
Yeah, being able to read that situation is important. Being able as an angler to know when I should be soaking my bait or when I should be, quick baits is what I call it, when you're changing your bait, all the time. Being able to know when you should be soaking your bait, when you shouldn't be soaking your bait is big.
How long are these videos when you do them?
It depends on the topic. We have some that are 5 minutes, some that are 20, 25 minutes.
Okay.
Just depends on what's going on. There's some stuff too that we can't go over the whole entire thing in one video, so we break it up.
Okay.
We'll a lot of times what I try and do is like cover a certain part of a topic really, really hard, and then kind of go over the rest of it, and then maybe in another video I've already gone over this part of the tackle or this part of the setup into really good detail, so I'll go into a different part of it into detail. But it just depends, but I'd say on the average they're 15 minutes probably. Yeah, around 15
Okay, so
minutes.
pretty in depth.
Yeah.
It's not just like, here's what you do, thanks for listening.
No, definitely not.
There's plenty of that content out there already.
Right.
So we're going above and beyond to try and get the best, the most detailed.
Very detailed.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, phones are packed. Let's jump into it, Rick.
Sounds good. How about we talk to Hills? Hills calling us from Ventura this morning. What's up, Hills? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. I'm stoked to get through, and I feel like I'm cheating by asking a question. I haven't subscribed yet, but I wanted to ask if they can describe a little more about how to fish knife jigs and flatball jigs, because I've been fishing them for the last couple of years, and I've seen guys next to me fishing them all different ways, and I've tried it all different ways, like winding fast, winding slow, winding it all the way up, dropping it all the way back down, or trying to keep it in the zone. If I got my line marked, I'm trying to get it to where I heard the fish are at, and I was wondering if I should just be keeping it right there and moving it a little, or
the best bet is keeping it in the zone there, keeping it right in where we're seeing the fish on the meter. Usually during the day they're anywhere from 180 feet to 250 feet a lot of times, and you just want to keep your jig moving through that zone.
Does that go for both yellow as well as bluefin or yellowfin? Or
you always want to
it
be
is?
where the fish are at.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. But keeping your lure, especially with those knife jigs, you want to keep it moving in that area, whether it's fluttering, falling, or you're doing the whole lift and drop, pump and deal where you're bringing it up through that zone.
How do you suggest people know where they are on their reel?
The marking the spectra
Marking
thing, that's huge. That's a real big game changer. If you don't have your spectra marked, I highly recommend you do that.
How do you guys like to do that? I mean, just simple as a Sharpie? Do you tie something on the line?
Just a Sharpie.
Color
just a Sharpie.
change?
Yeah, black Sharpie, 100 feet, 1 mark, 200 feet, 2 marks. When you're doing it, make sure you let your Sharpie dry.
Totally.
That's a big one. Because if you wind it on right away, you'll end up with 800 marks on your
you
on your
mark the
spool.
line and it's wet, and then you put it on the spool. Like
Yeah.
The line that's touching that one will all share that, bleed over.
Oh yeah, I got a reel that
Just
I
like
never
that,
know
huh?
how deep I am.
And do you do that at home? Do you do that on the water? How do you do that?
We do it on the boat, but you could do it at home. They
Yeah.
make little line counters, or you could just measure out 50 or 100 feet and pull it out. And as long as you're close, it doesn't need to be right at 100 feet exactly. Right. But if you're close to 100 feet, you think your lure is anywhere in that 180 to 200 foot zone, and you can keep it there, you're going to get some bites.
Yeah, what I think 100 feet is the magic number. I've had some guys come on the boat, mark it at 50 feet or even 25 feet, and then, it's one thing when you're sitting in your garage and you could count, okay, but it's another thing when you're excited, when you're fishing, when other guys are getting bites and you're winding it up and you're trying to keep track of exactly where you are, and then you lose track and then you end up having to wind all the way back up, and it's kind of wasting time. If you mark it, for what I do, if you mark your line at 100 feet, 200 feet, 300 feet, that's basically got you covered.
That's
for
the zone.
everything.
Covered.
Yeah. Even, a lot of times at nighttime we're fishing, or the fish will be, 350 feet down. But if you have your 300-foot mark, you just go
Right.
past that a little ways, So I think for me, the magic number for that is 100 feet, just 3 marks. I do 1 dash for 100 feet, 2 dashes for 200 feet, 3 dashes for 300, and that's it.
Now, we're at the rail and we're fishing, and Captain Gavin says this fish are at 200 feet down. How like above and below that do you fish your lure? Is it 100 feet up and around? Do you try and keep it within?
Well, for me,
you know what I mean? Like when you're down there at the depth, like do you want to wind that thing a long way so they have a chance to get up and chase it, or do you want to? Are you just winding up and down 10 or 15 feet because you want that thing fluttering in front of them?
Well, for the Pacific Queen particularly, I always tell my people where they are. So. Man, we've had some nighttime schools where they're from 100 to 300 and everywhere in between.
Sure.
So I'll tell them they're 100 to 300 feet down, or I'll say they're 200 to 250 feet if it's a smaller school, or so I try and not just give a single depth. I try and give like the range of where I'm seeing them. For me personally, I can't. I don't know what everybody does, but that's what I do.
Same with yellow fishing?
Oh yeah,
At the islands,
I'm telling you, they're laying on the bottom or they're coming up. You can.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about yellowtail fishing. You see if you got them going or not.
Yeah.
Real time.
Yeah.
Oh, right there. All right. Well, let's find out what's biting in the Baja.
You got it, man. It's time for the catch report with the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. This one's sponsored by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your one-stop shop for everything you need to go fishing. A complete saltwater tackle shop. They have a full deli, snacks, beverages, ice, boating supplies, and when it comes to freshwater tackle, check out East County Bait and Tackle and the brand new Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, full of all the freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day on the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. And East County Bait and Tackle, they're at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview and Lakeside. And the new Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, that's on Broadway and Lemon Grove. Check danalanding.com for more info. Let's talk to the cast man, Richard Castaneda. Buenos dias, Cass.
Hey, buenos dias, Ricky. Great show.
Thanks,
I like
Cast
you
man.
guys- Yeah, you guys are talking my type of fishing, man. Hey, Pete, the Loretto, man, I tell you, this has got to be one of the more fabulous yellowtail fishing seasons that I think I've seen in quite a few years down there. There are so many yellows, and they're all at the high spots. San Bruno, Coronado Island, Punta Coyote. I mean, there's a lot, and there's quality yellowtail. Jeff Davidson couldn't stand it. He went down last weekend and just nailed the fish. I think a couple of days he had 8 fish, ranging anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds, and lots and lots of bait right now.
the big eye shad and the mackerel for bait, and it's just a fabulous yellowtail season down there. Only problem right now is the north winds. Talking with Danny Talamantes, our charter captain, yesterday. He said on Thursday the port captain closed the port because of the wind. So that's the only thing you got to dodge right now is that wind. And so it's but like I say, it's some great fishing. Moving down to San Jose del Cabo, here again, still a lot of wahoo being caught. Really kind of an off year or off season, I should say, for that many wahoo, but not a lot of big fish. A 20, maybe a 30 pounder, but a good bite on wahoo, good bite on dorado. Some nice fish up to 30 pounds. A few tuna being caught, but again, along the beaches there, you've got the Sierra mackerel. So it's looking to be a great season down in the southern Baja. So got my fingers crossed. We got the Loretto Rumble May 1 to 5, and it looks like if those yellowtail stick around and the size they are now, I think we're going to see some big boys by the time get down there in May. But anyway, Pete, that's the report for this week. Anybody wants to book a trip in the southern Baja, mainland Mexico, Central America, or want to go on one of the Let's Talk Hookup Cast Tours trips that we do, give us a call at 800-593-6510 or on the web at www.casttours.com, and I'll talk to you boys next Saturday.
Cass, great report. Appreciate that as always. Always nice to hear of some destinations to go when it's a little chilly up this way. So that was a great one, man. Appreciate it. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, boys. Talk to you
Cass,
then.
man.
Thanks, Cass. Appreciate that. That's going to wrap up our report today. Hey, focus your offshore fishing in the most productive areas by using Terrafin temperature charts. They have temperature, they have chlorophyll, and more. Terrafin is the professional's choice for dependability and accuracy. And with Terrafin Mobile, you can download the latest charts to your iPad, your iPhone, or your Android device. Check Terrafin.com for more information. When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Phones are packed solid. Same with the text. You got a lot more with the Captain's Concepts. Stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on Earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the two best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
Time to talk about great gear from Shimano, and we're talking about live bait, bluefin fishing. There's only one reel, and that is the Talica from Shimano.
Pretty hard to beat. I mean, a reel that is very lightweight, that casts really good. Cast like a Star Drag reel would cast, but then to have the drag and most importantly 2-speed, man, Talica's where it's at.
I love that 10, that Talica 10. Such a small reel, but so much power.
I think the beauty of those reels, and the boys could chime in, is that if you're fishing a reel of that size, you at least have the power and strength to deal with a fish when you get caught holding the wrong outfit and you hook the wrong fish, but you still have a Talica, you still have a fighting chance when you're attached to a larger fish than you probably should be on a reel of that size. You've at least got the guts to deal with it.
You guys agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. We use a combination of all sorts of reels on the boat, but Talicas are definitely nice. One of the best.
Yeah, they are. So check it out at your local Shimano dealer, the Talica reel.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The ranch is small, it's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all those miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252. 646-BAJA. And RanchoLandAero.com. It's unique.
Hey anglers, AFCO Pro Captain Ben Florentino of Coastal Charters here. As a full-time guide, I'm on the water all year long. It's my livelihood. Having the right clothing is of the utmost importance to staying warm, dry, cool, and comfortable to endure whatever the Pacific wants to throw at me. Thankfully, I'm equipped with AFCO clothing to keep me dialed season after season. Do yourself a favor and check out AFCO's award-winning gear at a dealer near you, or learn more at AFCO.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Again, if you want to get through, get in on the info, talk to the guys from Captain's Concepts, 213-432-1090.
Phones are still packed, but just keep trying. You'll get through, and there's like lots and lots of texts like this one. Good morning, Travis from Rupa Valley. Subscribe to Captain's Concepts, and small tips and riggings have really dialed me in. For the Colt Sniper, how do you know when to choose a 50, 60, or 80-pound fluorocarbon leader, and what do you normally start with? So good. So here's a subscriber that's changed his world and to Captain's Concepts.
It just really depends on what size fish we're fishing for. If we know what we're stopping on, we know they're 40 to 50 pounders. You probably don't need to fish 80 pound, but if there's 100 pounders in the mix, I would definitely have 80 on there. Yeah. I usually fish 80 with mine. If they're
that's for bluefin fishing.
Bluefin fishing. If we're mid-sized fish to too big of a fish.
Yeah.
One thing I would add to that too is the size of the Colt Sniper. I feel like you can if you have a heavier lure, you can get away with a little bit heavier line for whatever reason. I don't know why, but so you got to factor in this, sometimes the 100 or 120 grams is what we're using. I feel like you can get away with heavier line with that, even with smaller fish. But if we're having to use smaller lures to get bites, I'll fish a little bit lighter line.
And do you fish like a 40 or 50 pound outfit and then a heavier leader, or do you just like to tie, or do you like to fish an 80-pound, top shotted rig and just tie it right to the lure?
Say for just average, if I'm fishing a sniper, most of the time the size fish is like I'd say 40 to 80 pounders. Mm-hmm. I'll fish a 50-pound outfit with a nice 150 foot leader of 50-pound mono, and then I'll put a small 3-4 foot leader on the end of fluorocarbon, a bite leader, exactly. Because a lot of times with those lures, you get a bite on the sink, or when you get a bite on the sink, the fish will inhale the whole lure, and the whole time you're fighting the fish, their teeth are rubbing on the line. They swallow the whole thing when you're winding it as well sometimes, but a lot of times on the sink. So I like having the 50-pound, a little bit lighter to help my lure sink faster, and I think it swims better. But having that little 3-4 foot bite leader of fluorocarbon on the end definitely help you from losing more of them. That's for sure.
Are you upgrading the hooks?
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Yeah. Most lures that Matt and I fish, we change the hooks.
Like a 4 extra strong type.
Yeah, like for me, I like, this is one thing me and Matt kind of differ. I like fishing, stronger, heavier 4X treble hooks most of the time. Mm-hmm. And Matt puts on...
I fish a single hook.
A single hook?
Yeah,
okay.
A ringed live bait single hook.
Wait a minute here. Yeah. A ringed live bait single
like
hook.
A 4X strong live bait hook.
Live bait.
The extra ring gets you gives the fish less leverage when they're shaking their head around.
What size?
Depends on the jig. Just match it up to whatever jig.
Say 120 gram Colt
I think
Sniper.
Like a 6/0 to 7/0, depending on the hook brand. Yeah, that works. I like that.
And so you'll just via the split ring that comes on the lure, or if you're putting a new one on, you'll just split ring.
The split rings on there are pretty decent, but usually I change them out just to be safe.
Just because.
Yeah. I'm already
it's a cheap
changing.
part. You're already at the shop getting a replacement hook. Why would you not get a replacement ring?
Exactly.
Split ring to the ringed hook.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have two rings involved, and they could shake it around and it's not falling out.
Yeah.
And Gavin, your preferred way, you said with the 4X, you're staying with the treble, just a much beefier version of it.
Yeah, I do both.
Sure.
I've never fished the way Matt did until I saw him post that video this year, and I was like, oh, I gotta try this. I liked it for sure, but I've had a fair amount of success just getting a little bit stronger treble hook. That's worked good for me, so I've stuck to that.
And same deal, that just varies on what size jig.
Yeah,
small
exactly.
Small one, big one, and a big one.
To be perfectly honest, for me, I just go to Fisherman's Landing Tackle and I say, hey, this is the jig I'm using. Give me some hooks, and they, the boys there take good care of me.
Yeah, and you said something important. This is what a video that you posted. You show exactly how to rig this and what to rig it with and everything on Captain's Concept. Yeah. So that's kind of the inside stuff you get.
That's it, man.
That's so good.
And again, that's why I think it's such a good deal. Like, people talk about fishing a Colt Sniper all the time. Just that right there was 10 different things about fishing a Colt Sniper. So, if, like Gavin was saying, it might not be, there's not one big thing that makes the difference, but if changing your hook and adding the ring and fishing a bite leader and fishing a longer top shot and using a little mono for a little stretch, like if all of those things add up to a big thing.
Yeah. And then next week it could be something totally different. So that's why.
All
right.
Probably will.
That's why you need to subscribe.
Yeah, I dig it. Yeah. Well, the phones are packed up. Let's jump back into those. They're going to talk to Mike, calling from Rosemead this morning. What's up, Mike? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, captains. It sounds like you guys are very detailed on all the specifics. I have kind of like a input on what I find. Watching a lot of YouTube videos, people are very secretive about maybe where they're fishing, specifically like surf fishing or calico bass fishing at a Catalina Island or whatever. And they leave out that particular detail as where they are fishing. I mean, a particular point or a certain avenue along a specific beach. Not that's very helpful, and it helps us fishermen narrow down on where to go fishing. On offshore, you have specific banks and mounts of stuff where you fish down below. But my input is I think it would be more helpful to us if the guys that are posting these videos show exactly where they're fishing. It's just more. It's just more.
Yeah, do you want the Latin lawn coordinates too? Would you like those and depth and everything like that?
Well, I think though the big difference though what you guys are doing, one is you're teaching. It's how to be better at what you're doing, and frankly, like the fish that you guys are fishing, they don't stay in a spot. They're not on a ridge. Like you don't go to.
Yeah, if you go to where we
spot.
caught them yesterday, you're late.
Yeah.
More than likely in the wrong place. And one thing, there are people and websites that do that.
Sure. Fishdope.com.
Yeah, there's stuff for that. We're, not to say that, you're not going to get any useful information as a skiff, as someone that's looking to go to a specific area where we're fishing, but we're more tailored towards the guy that's going to buy a ticket and come on the Pacific Queen or go on the San Diego or any one of the good sport boats. And I don't think they really care where we're fishing. They just they just
take me to the fish.
Take me to the fish. Yeah.
That's not what this is. This isn't where to. This is how to do it better. And I think it's great. I do 90% of my fishing in a skiff, but that doesn't mean that I don't still want to fish a live bait better or set the Colt Sniper up the way that somebody's had a lot more success. Like when we go on the skiff, there's 3 guys that do it the way we do. Like you're pooling from both of your lifetimes of knowledge and, like we said earlier, 1,000 passengers, at a time you get to draw from. It's the advanced course.
Yeah. So if you want specifics on where to go on your skiff, fishdope.com. Totally. If you want to know how to catch those fish when you get to that spot, Captain's Concepts.
There you go.
There you go. Exactly.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot for the call this morning. I got a great text from Amber here from Chula Vista, and she wants to know your favorite way to hook a bait.
Shoulder hook.
Yeah, shoulder hook.
Shoulder hook.
Yeah,
okay.
Shoulder hook's mine for sure.
Yeah. Shoulder hooking is something that you need to learn how to do properly, right?
I'd say shoulder hooking a bait is the most difficult way to do it, especially when you're fishing a circle hook.
Yeah.
If you're fishing a non-offset circle hook, it's
nearly impossible.
Yeah, you need to spend a lot of time practicing because by the if you're beginning or just starting to do this, by the time you finally get the hook in that thing, all its scales are gone.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that takes some practicing, but I would say 90% of the time that's how I hook my bait, no matter what I'm fishing for.
Shoulder hooking is probably the easiest to do wrong. So you know what I mean? Like you kind of can't screw it up hooking it in the nose. the belly, the butt, whatever, like those are all relatively simple. But if your hook is a little too deep on a shoulder hook, you hit the spine and the bait dies. If the hook's a little too shallow, it rips out on your cast. Like it's the only one where you really kind of have to hit a pretty narrow sweet spot.
Yeah, and it's just a good way to fish their bait too. Once you do get it on the hook, it hides the hook from the fish. It keeps it up on the surface if the fish are boiling. You keep your bait right on the surface, and you're going to get a bite.
And the bait lasts a long time.
Yeah,
like it swims around good. With
and you can wind it in. You can fish it on the wind.
Do you show videos on how to hook a shoulder hook?
Yeah, I think one of the first videos we did was like that. We actually just had a guy message us a couple days ago asking to go back over how we hook on baits. Mm-hmm. We're like so deep in boat maintenance right now. I don't even remember last time I've even seen a sardine. So next time I get my hands on a sardine, that's probably one of the next things that I'll make a video on. Yeah, really in depth on how to do that.
Well, we're running, so we're gonna have sardines. So I'll probably beat you to that video.
Yeah. Are you going to be on the San Diego tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy,
yeah, I'll be driving tomorrow. Hopefully,
yeah. Well,
hopefully Booger's got some fish for us to
well,
catch.
hopefully he'll call in this morning and tell us about all the yellow he's catching right now.
I hope so.
Yeah. You said that when you subscribe to Captain's Concepts, you get access to all the videos that you've done in the past. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. We started in September. I don't know exactly off the top of my head how many videos are up, but you get all the stuff previous that we've posted and everything going forward.
Obviously. Are there 25 videos up? Are there 30 videos up?
Probably
Any
40
idea?
or 50.
Yeah,
40 or
probably
50.
At least
wow.
40.
So that all that content is yours if you subscribe.
Yeah, exactly.
And the new content too.
Yeah,
it's 40 videos.
40.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Real good. All right.
Only because I did what you did. Like I said, not being. I know that if you're from a younger generation, everybody knows what Patreon is. But some don't. And that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people that ride the boat may not be familiar. And I think you guys described it for us. It is just a platform like anything else. Like Facebook is a site that you go to, and Instagram is a site that you go to. Patreon is its own thing, but a very easy, I just, as you described, went on to Google, I typed in Patreon, it's the first thing that pops up. Click on that page, type in Captain's Concepts, it brought you directly to it.
All right, now what if
easy to find.
But you said if you also typed in Captain's Concepts, that came up too.
Well, I just meant like in terms of you finding Patreon.
Right.
No, but I just tried it, actually. I just Googled Captain's Concepts, and it came up.
Right.
Comes right up.
Yeah, and the reason why we chose to go through a platform like that is obviously Matt and I are super busy primarily running the boat.
Right.
That's, most important for us. So instead of us making our own website, that would take a lot of time into doing that.
Right.
We decided to go this route. That way we could put all of our energy just into making videos. So we could, instead of having to deal with a website for us, it just makes more sense for us to pay more attention to making the videos and, running the boats that we run.
And you don't have to hire somebody else to do all the production and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
exactly. It makes it easy for us to, kind of directly get to our subscribers, and they can directly go to us easily. That way, in between trips, we can answer questions and make videos versus it being, a longer process that would make it more difficult for us to post videos more often.
Secure, it's reputable. You don't have to worry about the money, that kind of thing. Like
it's super easy to use too. You just log in and they're there. You scroll through all the videos. You can go back, comment, message. It's real easy to use.
And so the message so somebody can message you right on that platform.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we made
and then
videos
you'll get it.
Specifically for.
It's just like having
guys.
your cell phone number.
I think it's
text to you,
just
right?
like,
it's like hey, texting.
Yeah.
It's like texting the two of the best captains in the biz. You have like access to them.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
a couple of things that it's an app on your phone too, just like Facebook's an app, or you can get an app for it, which is super simple for Patreon. Or you can it's a website if you're using a laptop. So.
Yeah.
There it is. Great. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking in with the catch report. We're going to find out what's biting up and down the beach and a lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, ESPN Radio, Mightier 1090, and that Let's Talk Hookup app.
Are you passionate about fishing and the great outdoors, but not quite sure where to go? Look no further than Queen Charlotte Safaris in pristine British Columbia, Canada. Hello, this is Valerie Hoprich. There's so many reasons to join us on your next fishing adventure. A few of the highlights are fishing in protected, calm waters. Very important. Quality Chinook salmon run all season long, no downtime. This is migrating salmon going through our fishing grounds. After you've caught your salmon, we're going to go out for the great Pacific halibut, lingcod, rockfish, and Dungeness crab. Our beautiful lodge overlooks Shingle Bay and Sandspit, and it's so easy to get get to. Fly from almost any airport into Vancouver and then on to Sandspit. Our trips are 5 days, 4 nights. Custom fish processing, your fishing license, your gear, all included. Just bring that fishing arm and that smile. Let our chef pamper you with amazing meals while our staff gives you wonderful hospitality, all included in your Queen Charlotte Safaris package. We are booking for 2022 now, and the trips are filling up quickly. So give me a call on our toll-free number, 1-877-815-2892, or go to our website, qcsafaris.com.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over $100 of really cool stuff, like 2 free fishing trips, whale watch trip, as well as a free Dana Wharf Kids Club hat or t-shirt. Log on to the website, danawharf.com, or visit them in Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County.
San Diego, do you need a vehicle that's built ready for your next adventure? Well, your San Diego County Ford dealers have you covered with the 2021 Ford Ranger. This adventure-ready truck is built with durable features like its frame-mounted step bumpers and high-strength steel frame. But that's not all. The Ford Ranger also has an available terrain management system with 4 selectable drive modes depending on what terrain you're on for optimum performance. Looking to tow your boat or trailer to your next adventure? No problem. The 2021 Ford Ranger can handle that too and has smart technology like Bliss with trailer coverage to assist changing lanes and makes driving so much better when towing your boat or trailer. Visit your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com to learn more. That's buyfordnow.com, and they'll be glad to hook you up.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Bell every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Guloan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.